I'd like to continue on the question of childcare, because obviously Mr. Mulcair, this is a major platform, the NDP. He says it's not because the Liberals failed, and he's thinking of Paul Martin's plan in 2005. They had a plan. He had convinced every province to come. Yes. That was getting very close.
It was great. No, it was great. It was in place, and then the NDP and the Conservatives brought down the government, and that plan disappeared.
But
so
why?
it's rich of Mr. Mulcair to talk about the failure of that plan when his party was partly responsible for it.
The question is, why wouldn't you, the heir to all of that, come back with such a plan?
But we have. We have come back with that. Now, first of all, Mr. Mulcair's plan to create childcare spaces over 8 years, which means a young family with a 2-year-old will have to wait till their kid's in grade 5 before they get it, actually is conditional on partners, on the provinces, ponying up billions of dollars to create those spaces. It's not the federal government saying, here's the money, go do it. It's, you need to start doing it as well. And that kind of imposition on provinces makes you ask a lot of questions about, well, what happens in Ontario where there's already full-day kindergarten and JK? What happens in Quebec where we already have a tremendous number of childcare spaces at a very low rate? So Mr. Mulcair hasn't fully thought through his plan. What our plan is to actually show up with real money, much more money than Mr. Mulcair can put forward, because he's made a different choice than we have. He has chosen as a priority to balance Mr. Harper's budget. Our priority is actually to invest in the community and in the future that we need for Canadians. And that's why we're saying it. We're going into deficit for 3 years. We're staying in deficit for 3 years so we can come out in 2019. And so right now, we can start investing in childcare spaces and in the other infrastructures that Canadians need.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but in your platform, in this campaign, there is child allocations, child benefits, yes, but there isn't a national daycare plan.
There is $20 billion in social infrastructure that will go to the provinces and to the municipalities in terms of building low-income housing, seniors' residences, childcare spaces, shelters for vulnerable women. It's there in there. The provinces who need to create childcare spaces will be able to access significant amounts of federal money straight to them to do that. They will choose what is needed for their communities. There are some communities and some provinces who have different childcare needs. What we are saying is we are there to respond to the real needs. We are not there to impose a solution from Ottawa, particularly not in areas of provincial jurisdiction.